Which Arabic dialect is closest to standard? You may already know that the many varieties of spoken Arabic are all very different from one another, and very different from modern standard Arabic. But which one's the closest? The measure of how different two language varieties are is known as linguistic distance. But how do you even quantify that? Like, if I asked you how different Spanish and Portuguese are, how do you even start measuring? One tool that can help us is lexicostatistics, which is the use of mathematics to compare the number of shared words between languages. So imagine if we took some word, figured out what it was in standard Arabic, and then looked at the translation into all the Arabic dialects. Then we could see which Arabic dialects line up with standard Arabic and which ones don't. We can repeat this process for word after word after word until we have a list of hundreds, if not thousands, of words. Then we can see which dialects have the most words in common and therefore are the closest to standard Arabic. Now that's quite an oversimplification. Real linguists will use a bunch of different techniques that are a lot more mathematically rigorous, but I'll spare you all the details because this paper did all that work for us. They used a bunch of different methods to compare the many varieties of spoken Arabic to modern standard Arabic, and they found that the closest variety was, drumroll please, Levantine Arabic, especially Palestinian Arabic. So does that mean that if you want to learn standard Arabic, you should learn Palestinian Arabic? Not necessarily. Just because Palestinian is somewhat closer than other dialects doesn't actually make it that close. And besides, remember that this research only looked at shared vocabulary, but there's plenty of other linguistic features that we could have measured instead. But if you're still interested in learning Levantine Arabic, I'm partnered with a company that specializes in teaching it, so check the link in my bio.